Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roscoff. The Disability Channel, or TDC, is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing quality digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post-production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for people with disabilities. And we are your USA team, and boy, do we have a lineup for you tonight. I am so excited to share with you, first of all, the wonderful Krystal Hille. She is joining us out of I'm sorry, and I just popped her in the spotlight all on her own. So glad to have her joining us from Australia. Sorry, my screen is being weird to me
Multitasking.
tonight. I am multitasking, and you can tell, can't you?
It's all good. I can't see there I am.
There we go. I am so glad to have Krystal joining us. She and I have just gotten to know each other a bit better here in the last hour, and she is lovely. I'm so happy that she is here and can share a bit more about what she all does, because it's something that is actually speaks to all of us. So, Krystal, come on in and share a bit about what you do.
Thank you so much for having me on this show, Sue. I'm so excited to be here. And yes, I believe that everybody has a story to share. I am a transformational book coach working with primarily coaches and healers, but also people who really have a story to share that just needs to be heard, like a legacy that they want to leave. And then, of course, I help them with the publishing of that as well.
So if people want to know more about first of all, your website, let's make sure to share that so people can go there and find out all the things.
Absolutely. So my website is hillehouse.org. That's HILLE house.org. A little bit of a spin on Hay House. And so there I'll share all of my services. So what I do is I offer group coaching and group containers for authors to write their book with my guidance, to help them from that first, like a lot of people say, like, I know I need to write a book, but I have so many ideas. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to write about. And so then I come in with 25 years of personal development, understanding how people tick, why they do what they do, what makes them passionate. So really teasing that out, but also with that strategic business awareness of how the book can really serve them in their business goals, and bringing both of those together to say, okay, this is the book, this is the topic, this is what feels most aligned to write about. Because for me, it's all about alignment.
Beautiful. So with what you do then, how do you work with folks? Do you start with the beginning of how do you write the book, or do you dive in with the publishing end, or do you do all of this?
I do all of it depending on where people are at, because I cover the full spectrum. I cover the people saying, oh, I want to write a book. So just the other day I did a session with somebody. She is an editor and she read my book where I say every business needs a book. And she said, Krystal, I'm an editor. What could I possibly write about that people would want to know? So we had a session. We teased it out because so yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, so that's the one thing. Starting helping people with crafting their idea. Then the maintenance. There's so many people, 81% of the population want to write a book and only 1% publish. So this is where I come in as a mentor, as a guide, because it is known that when we have a mentor and when we do something in a group container, the chances of getting it done is 30% faster. So I have group containers where I help them along the journey, giving them feedback, encouragement, all the things that they need to know about structuring a chapter, about structuring, what to include, what to leave out, All of that gets covered in the, I call it the Aligned Author Sanctuary. And then I have also got a book completion catalyst. It's for those who've been procrastinating, and they know exactly what they're doing. They just need that accountability, so they can come into a monthly membership and get help with that. And yes, then all of the publishing, when you have a finished manuscript and you just don't know where to start, you don't want to go with traditional publishers because you want to keep that copyright and the sovereignty over your work then, and want it to be done professional as at the same time, that's where I can come into.
Excellent. There are so many people I know actually in the room here who are authors who have done good work that way. So I think this is hitting home with many. So I do want to ask though, a little birdie told me that you have a book coming out. I wonder if you could share some details on that.
Absolutely. Yes, that little birdie was correct. I have a book coming out on the 28th of April. It is called The Aligned Author, A Writer's Odyssey Towards Mastery and Momentum. So, yeah, that book came out of this. When I was working with my clients, I realized as I said, there's so many people who want to write a book but find it hard to stay the course and struggle. So I was looking at the core reasons why that is and looking at, well, there is a hero's journey in every phase of life, including writing a book. So I'm taking people through that process of refusing the call, then answering the call, and then embarking on this adventure, this journey where they're met with trials and tribulations, enemies and allies. And often they're the inner enemies, like the inner enemies of procrastination, doubt, overwhelm, perfectionism. And how do we overcome those so that we can, in the end, return with the elixir, with the book in our hand and saying, well, this is what I'm bringing back. This is after my quest, after the transformation that I have gone through as an author.
Wonderful. And I will also ask if you had one tip that you wanted to share with somebody that is interested in this, what would be a nugget that would help people along?
Mm. Your story matters. Your wisdom is needed. And if you were to think of the book that transformed your life the most, imagine that hadn't been written. Where would you be? And now, if your book, your message, your wisdom could do that, why wouldn't you write that book? Why wouldn't you make that contribution? It's like, yeah, we owe it to ourselves, I feel, to live our lives to the fullest, to also share the gifts that we have experienced and lived.
I love it. It's what I love listening to you as well, because there is a big piece of what I hear from you that it's just like, okay, somewhere in the back of my mind, I've always thought it would really be something to be able to publish something myself, but I haven't really paid much attention to it. You know, it's just kind of there. And as I hear you and I think about that, I'm like, maybe I need to listen to that because you're right.
Yes, exactly. It's like nagging on the back of your shoulder saying, me, I need to be told, that story needs to be told. Exactly. And listen, and it doesn't have to be hard. We talked about this earlier, like writing a book is only as hard as you make it. And so you can choose to make it easy. And with the right support, it can happen with ease and grace.
Oh, oh, Krystal, you are amazing. I really, really appreciate you being here tonight. Remind us again what your website is if somebody wants to reach out and find out more about this and more about what you do and how you can help. Because I'm telling you, she's amazing. I truly have enjoyed this, and I feel like I've connected with you in this short amount of
Oh.
time. I know what you can do with others. You're going to be a great person to work with.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you. So the website is www.hillhouse with an E, Hille, house.org. Yeah, hillhouse.org.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know we've got some others joining us as well. You're welcome to stay as long as you like, but I know you have some other commitments to take care of as well. So stay as long as you like, but I know it's all good whenever you need to go.
Thank
So
you so
just know how
much.
grateful we are.
Thank you.
And so I know joining us here as well, we have the lovely Andelene Grey joining us all the way from Texas. And I know she's got some amazing stories and has a book already in the works here as well. But why don't you tell us a bit more about what you do? Because it's not just a book. You've got many things that you are doing. And I don't want to say just a book. That's not your main thing, but you found a way to make that happen already. You just need to get that next step done and publish it. But there's other things that you're doing in your world. So why don't you share a bit more with us?
Yeah, so I am an executive chef. I have a startup. It's called the Maroon Cafe, which is health and happiness on a plate. No antibiotics, no hormone, and absolutely gluten-free as well meals. And we use also healthy oils with avocado and olive oil for doing our cooking. And we use sustainable biodegradable containers as well for our food. So we're very kind to the environment. So and we are doing this on a full customized 36 feet trailer, which is fully customized, going to be fully customized in the chef kitchen. And along with a barista on the inside as well. So we'll be serving one of the best coffees in the world, in my opinion. It's a Blue Mountain coffee from Jamaica. So yeah, so that's a little bit about that, as well as trying to get my YouTube channel up as well, and trying to get a book, which I already finished doing, a cookbook, which Bowl Fusion it's called, with Jamaican, Italian, and French collide. That's what that book is, the title of the book, it's in progress. So we have Krystal, I have Krystal now, so.
So to get you in, you know where you can go to make this
Yes,
get that published piece a reality. But now,
exactly.
okay, so you mentioned the fusion of your food. Can you give us an example of what that all is like? Just of maybe one thing, because I personally, I'm not a big foodie. I'm one of the pickiest eaters you're ever gonna meet. So it's crazy. I hear what you do and I think, oh my gosh, it sounds amazing, but I'm trying to really picture. So tell me a bit more about what it is that you love to do.
So basically, what the fusion is, when I say Italian, Jamaican, and French infusion, so what I do is the bold flavors, and that bold flavors is the flavor of Jamaica, which is our seasoning, all of our spices, and we put that into. We use some of the Jamaican ingredients as well, and we use some Italian ingredients like the Italian pasta, the Jamaican coconut milk, and the Jamaican, spices as well, and we infuse that. We put it together, and we make a delicious, beautiful fusion meal. And that's what that means. So I'll give you an example of one such meal. We have one meal that I have on my dish, which is called an oxtail pasta dish. So oxtail is more, it's, if you look on the spine of the cow, that's part of the cow there, which is slightly attached to the tail. That is what they used to call that. They call that the ox and tail, which is Oxtail. So that part of the meat is a bit kind of hard. So it takes about 4 hours to actually cook. So we put the bold flavors, as I'm mentioning about, of Jamaica, all of the seasoning, the spices, and that called one of the most used flavors, which is the pimento seed. It looks a little bit like a black pepper grain, but it's pimento seed as well. We put in there. We put like our spices, like our chicken spices, or we put a little bit of beef spice in that as well. With the pimento, onion seasoning, and we put all of our green seasoning in that to infuse it into the meat to make it have this really bold flavor, but without the hot. If you may well, and then what we'll do with that, we'll take our pastas and we'll cook that up. We'll take some of the flavor, like the sauce from the meat, and we cook pasta, which is al dente, of course. It's like a fettuccine pasta, and we fuse that in with a little coconut milk and maybe a little bit more spice, and we fuse that, and that becomes like a nice dish. Yeah. So yeah.
Crystal, are you drooling yet? Does that sound amazing?
It does sound amazing. I must say, like all the Jamaican with pasta, I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
Yes. So yeah, that would be one of our dish, and the French side would be that we take a little, because I'm Canadian, from Canada as well. So we use the French Canadian side, and the famous poutine, which everybody knows about, which is the French fry, the cheese curds, and the sauce. So we do a beautiful version of that in Jamaican again with the bold spices. We use the curry, Jamaican curry, and we use that, infuse that into like a sauce with the seasoning as well, with some coconut milk and green seasoning, and make that into a really beautiful sauce with some nice, curry chicken breast. We put that there, and we had some goat cheese on that. But the goat cheese is not dairy goat cheese. We are putting cashew cheese on that because we are no dairy policy here, right? So that's cashew cheese that's been made the goat cheese as a goat cheese flavor. So we put that on top of that to make a nice fusion pudding dish. Yes.
Amazing. Gosh. I'm sure everybody out there needs a napkin because this is just sounding so good.
So this is why we say health and happiness on a plate. So basically we're using plant-based, which is the coconut milk, and we're also using non-dairy, which is the cashew cheese, goat cheese, right? And we're using healthy oils as well while we're doing this cooking. And this is why we say health and happiness on a plate. So we want you to be able to eat our meals, not feel bloated and not feel like you want to go sleep for 10 days. And we want you to enjoy the food, right? And be happy about it. Basically what it's all about.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much for being here and sharing with us. Now, and I know as we were talking about books earlier, Kurt actually just put a quote in the chat, which brings me over to the absolutely amazing Stan Anderson. And I know he's in the background here. I'm hoping he's able to join us and chat for a little bit, because when you talk about books, he is a unique individual with what he is all doing 5 mornings a week. We have a group that gets together, and Stan, are you there? Would you like to speak to us a bit about
Yes, I
master?
actually am. I actually had to get off camera for one moment, Sue. But thank you all. It's been nice being on tonight. I'm hungry now after hearing all that stuff. I'm ready to go eat. But and I want to thank you, Krystal, also. Thank you so much for that. The name of our organization is Motivation Readers Mastermind Network. It's a big name, but we are here to encourage, inspire, and empower millions of people around the world to believe in and develop their unlimited potential and to courageously pursue their cherished dreams. And we do that by reading the best motivational and inspirational books that are on the market, the old ones, new ones, but the one that really inform us of who we really are and what we're capable of achieving. And we want to keep you inspired to reach your goals. It doesn't cost anything. Tuesday through Saturday morning at 8:00 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're on the Zoom platform. I'll make sure that I put that Zoom information in the chat room for you. But you can come on and have someone like Sue or Kurt will be your actual audio book. They'll be reading to you live from the book we're currently reading now. They will be reading to you live. One of the masterminds, that's what we call ourselves, will be reading to you live for at least 15 minutes. And then after that, the discussion, the room is opened up so we can comment on what was just read and how we can use that to reach our goals. And it's really just a great family environment, a very encouraging and nurturing environment to help you on with your goals. And if you're already doing terrific, it's great for you to come and inspire others by relating to some of the stories that are read in some of these books. And right now we're reading we're reading The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. That book was written almost 100 years ago. And out of that book came the all-time classic, Think and Grow Rich. When we read a book, we read it from cover to cover, no matter how many days it takes. We don't just read a portion of it. So I'm inviting you all out to it. Thank you.
Excellent. And how many days are we in right now for this book?
We're actually in 100 days. Tomorrow will be 101 days that we have been reading this book. It's a thick book, and we don't rush it. We don't rush it. We normally only get about 3 to 4 pages in the book read a day. And then we open it up for discussion and we start talking. The discussions are rich.
They are.
Very rich. Aren't they, Sue?
Absolutely are. Yes.
Yeah, the discussions are rich. That's really where we really get to talk to each other and learn from each other and get each other's perspectives on what was just read and relate our own stories if we have stories that are related to what we've read. And then on Wednesday nights, we have a program called The Open Mind. The Open Mind is where we like to feature a guest speaker. Mastermind Kurt has been on there. Kurt has been on there before. Or someone who represents some principle that we have read about. Maybe it's persistence. Maybe it's enthusiasm. Maybe it's pleasing personality. We have that person as a guest speaker. And if we don't have a guest speaker on that Wednesday night that we're featuring, we review one of the great books that we've read. Thank you.
Well, and actually, and Stan, I've got one more quick question for you, because I know I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. I know that you are in the middle of writing your own book right now, too.
Yes, I am.
So you want to just give us a little sneak peek as to what you're writing about?
Well, I've written a number of poems over the years, and each one of the chapters of this book is going to be introduced by the name of that poem, and it will end with that poem. The chapter will end with that poem, but in the middle, the writings are all going to be about life experience and motivation and all that in between that. And I expect to have 15 chapters of this particular book. And I've been saying I was going to complete it for a while. I haven't, but I'm really looking to really have it done now by the end of June. The manuscript.
I love it. I'm so excited for you. This is that's huge. This has been a goal of yours for a long time, and you've had a book in you, and you're getting it done.
Yes. Most people die with their music or their book still inside them, and I intend to have mine out before that great time comes.
So, well, I'm so glad Krystal is here to be able to share some pieces, and I will hopefully you guys can connect a bit too and talk more, and maybe where
maybe she can even come on our platform and extend what she does to others on our platform. And it's a number of us, as you know, Sue, that are on the platform that are in the process of writing their books right now. And there's a couple, as you know, who've completed their books, and their books are now on Amazon. So that's what we do. We inspire people to bring out of them what's in them.
That's beautiful. That feels very aligned to what I do as well. Like inspire, to bring it out, to give it a language, to really understand what is the core message that each individual has. And I loved how you spoke about, that fulfilling of potential. And I really believe that writing a book is helping us to fulfill our potential, because we really reflect on our lives and our strengths and our stories to bring that out, and then sharing that is the ultimate gift, right? Like, here I am, unapologetically me.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to us talking more, and I want to thank you for being, for extending this to me tonight. Kurt and Sue, thank you so much. I was glad I was able to get on for a moment. We just closed out our Wednesday night program. It's every Wednesday night, The Open Mind that I just mentioned, from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So I jumped right on here tonight after we closed out our program. And tonight we were reviewing Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbrough and Napoleon Hill, and the original Think and Grow Rich by Dr. Napoleon Hill. So that's what we were doing this evening. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Stan. Appreciate you so much. There's so many good things that I have gotten to experience and learn because of what this group does in the mornings. The Motivation Readers Mastermind Network really is an amazing group that gets together on a very consistent basis. And I learned things that there's no other way I would have had those thoughts. And I get to hear different people's perspectives, because we all, like we were talking about earlier, we all come from a different walk of life. I can't possibly have experienced all the things myself. So being able to hear from others and to have that shared, like what the group does, everybody is so giving, and it's really a refreshing experience to be able to be part of that. Oh, and you're muted.
You are certainly one of those that are so giving and so sharing and so loving, and that spirit comes through so wonderful. So we've got people like Sue on, and we've got people like Kurt on. They are on, so you can get an idea of what our platform is like. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Stan. And actually, Kurt is joining us here in the background. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on in so he can share a few words with us before we close up for the night. Kurt, how you doing?
Absolutely wonderful. I'm thinking you all can read me like a book.
Oh my gosh. How did I not see that coming?
I don't know where this guy gets it from, but he always has it.
He's promised me new material on a daily basis, and he does not let me
He
down.
delivers. He delivers, right?
Yes.
All right, folks. Books are keys to wisdom's treasure. Books are gates to lands of pleasure. Books are paths that upward lead. Books are friends. Come, let us read.
Yes, where have I heard?
Oh, good.
There you go. That's by Emily Paulson, and that is part of the program, 5 days a week with Motivation Readers Mastermind Network. So that's our segue into the founder of this platform, the Disability Channel, and the operator of the television station that we do the TDC Today show on, Jay Stoyan. He is the author of Flanagan's Life Inside an Irish Street Gang. Growing up in the mean streets of a major North American city, Jay constantly had the pressure of stepping up and proving himself. Stoyan spent most of his youth well into his 20s studying martial arts and running a popular downtown Irish pub. Being exposed to and entrenched in the gang life atmosphere, it gave him plenty of time to hone his skills in hand-to-hand combat. It is now time to put it to paper. So there you go. And this actually he had accomplished in 2007. That's where it's showing on Amazon.com. And now this book is evolving into a television series and so on and so forth. So that's the other power of getting your book published is, more opportunities come through getting your book out in distribution. So there you go. I just wanted to give our main man, Jay Stoyan, a shout out on that. And we'll let that be the wrap up tonight, Sue. So back to you.
Excellent. What an amazing group. Andelene, it's always so nice to hear all the things that you're doing, and I'm excited for where you're going. You've got a lot in progress here, and oh my gosh, I definitely want to know between now and the next year how far you're going to get with all the things that you're in the middle of. I'm excited for you. There's some great things on the horizon. Stan, you're the man. You really are. You're a constant that I didn't know I needed. So I really appreciate what you guys all do at the Motivation Readers Mastermind Network.
Well,
And
thank you.
absolutely, you're wonderful. And I mean that from the heart. And Krystal, like I said, this has been such a great experience to hear that piece of you all have a story in you to tell, and you can speak to that so well. And actually, remind us again, what is the name of your book and how we can find that and find more about you?
Absolutely. So thank you firstly for having me on the show. It's been such a pleasure to have this conversation. The website is hillhouse.org and my book is called The Aligned Author. It's coming out on the 28th of April on Amazon. And yeah, just go to my website. There'll be links to it and you'll definitely find it there. So thank you.
Excellent. Well, we are here with the TDC Today Show communities, and what a community we have here indeed. And I truly, from the heart,